Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Ahmed Mumtaz Mustahsan, your teacher for CSE 141 Introduction to Computer Programming. Dear students, today we will be doing some hands-on exercises. Hands-on exercises in the environment that we have created in the third or fourth lecture. I assume that you have also created the same environment and it is available for you for the practice. Today in the beginning I will just go through a few slides just to remind you so that you can recall how can we start and operate and use the environment of Visual C++. And then we will do some exercises. Okay, so let's start. This should be the Visual Studio 2010 available for you for your practice purposes. It could be Visual Studio Professional, it could be Ultimate, or it could be any other version, whatever or whichever you have selected for your practice. When you start this, in the first time you will be getting this information, Visual C++ development setting. You will select it and you will start the Visual Studio. When you click the Visual Studio, you will have this screen available. In this particular screen, you will be having the option connect to a Team Foundation server if you are working with different students together, but we are not using it. New project or open a project. If you are creating first time a project, you will say that a new project, or if you have already created a project and you are working on that, you will open a new project. So once you click this new project, or you can use it from the drop down menu, file, new project, and you click that, then you should have this screen. Here you will use Visual C++ general form. So first time if you are creating a new project, it should be an empty project. Then you press OK, but before saying OK, you are supposed to type in the name of the project. So I've said that first project, and then we click OK. Once you click OK, then you have got these 1, 2, 3 windows, and this one, the fourth one here. The window that could be either on your left side or it could be on your right side, depending upon the default setting you have opted for. You have the option that the solution, the name of the project, which is the first project, then these are the default folders that should be available for you. In this resource file, now you are required to create, edit a file. Now, since you are required to create a file, first time you can add a file, it could be a new item. Okay? Or it could be the existing item if you have already available the source code and you want to just copy it back so you can open it up. But first time you can just say new item. Okay? Once you click this new item, then you are required to write down the name of the file. And since in the last time you remember, we have used the word hello world. So we have given the first name of our program as a hello world. And then after typing this, we click add. Once we add this, then under the source files, you receive this hello world.cpp, the default name of your program. Remember that there is no space in between hello world, but in the project you may have the space. Between first project there is a space, but between the source file, please do not use any space. It's preferably write down in continuous characters the name.cpp. If you have already chosen the extension C++, then .cpp will automatically be included. Now this is the global space where you are supposed to put in your project. You can cut paste your source code here, or you can start typing here by clicking here. When you compile and do anything, then the output window, this is the output window that will show you the error messages and all the required detail of your activities that you are carrying out on your project. So this was our first program. What I did, I just copied this source code, copied this code and pasted it here by Control C copy, then I pasted it Control P, and this code was available to me. Okay, then I wanted to run this code. For that, to run this code, you remember that we are required, this is a source code and the source code extension is .cpp. So in the previous lectures, in the early lectures, I have explained you that this source code is required to put in as an input to the compiler. Compiler compiles the code and convert it to an object code. You are required to rectify all the errors of the compiler, syntax error reported by the compiler. You are required to rectify all these errors. Once you rectify all these errors, then the compiler generates an object code. Now you are required to link the object code. Once you link the object code, then the linker that takes the input as an object file produce an executable file with an extension .exe. In this environment, I recommended you to use build option that carries out both the tasks simultaneously, that is, it compiles as well as it links the code. So the output is available in executable form. So you can select it from here, from the build option. You click the build option, it opens up here build selection. So you click build selection, it will build your source code, and in the output window, which is this one, this is your output window. In this output window, you will have these details. When you find out that build is succeeded and build 1 succeeded, 0 failed, 0 up to date, 0 skipped, it means that you have successfully compiled and linked your program, and then you can simply run your program. You can run your program using this debug option, and here you can say start without debug. I have not taught you how to use this debugging option. Maybe I'll teach you in some last lectures. But without debugging, you can use start start without debugging. That you can do it with the Control F5 also. By clicking Control F5 or by clicking here, your output window will be displayed, and your output, whatever the output you expect from your program, is available on this output window. Okay, so dear students, I expect that you have already gone through these slides, as these are the slides that I have repeated from my lecture number 4. So now I assume that you have got the environment, you have learned how to establish the environment, how to set up the environment, how to install the environment of Visual C++, and also you know how to write your first program and how can you compile it, link it and run it. So today I will be doing that again for you. So once you install the Visual C environment, either it is an ultimate version or it could be a professional version, you should have an icon like that, Microsoft Visual Studio. So students, now I am not using the slides, rather I am practically working for you to demonstrate how can you write your programs and how can you compile it, run it and execute it. Side by side, I will also like to explain you the syntax errors. How can you rectify the syntax error? What type of errors that you can expect from the system and how can you correct that? So we start this with double clicking this environment. When we double click this environment, remember this is the well known same screen, but this time this is not the slide, this is the output on your screen. Look at that. Start page, Visual Studio 2010 Professional. Connect to Team Foundation server. Remember, I've read already for you. New project, open project. There are already projects available that I have already created here. Practice, demo, test, test 1, test 2. These are already practice projects available. But since I'm doing it first time for you, maybe second time, so I would like to do it by creating a new project. So how can I do that? Either I can click here, or remember, I can use here this new project. यहाँ से भी हम कर सकते हैं और हम इसको भी क्लिक कर सकते हैं. ओके, लेट्स डू इट. यहीं से करते हैं. ओपन प्रोजेक्ट, डबल क्लिक. जब हम क्लिक करेंगे तो सॉरी, आई शुड नॉट ओपन द प्रोजेक्ट, रादर आई शुड क्रिएट अ न्यू प्रोजेक्ट. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द न्यू प्रोजेक्ट. Okay, Visual C, C#, C++. We are working in C++ environment. In the C++ environment, we would like to create an empty project. So after clicking this, the default is empty project. So you say this is the empty project, and here you are required to give it some name. So I say that it is first project. I type solution name is first project, create directory for solution, add to source control. I am creating directory for the solution so that I should be able to add code here, so I can browse, but since I am creating a new project, I am not required to browse it. So dear students, please look into this very carefully. We are here in Visual C++ environment. We have used this empty project. Then we have provided the name of the project, and I have typed in first project, and then I have used this option, create directory for solution, and then I will press OK. Good. We are inside the Visual C environment. Remember, this is our working window where we will put our source code, type in our source code. This is our output window, and this is the Solution Explorer, and by default this shows that this is the solution first project, one project, and I have given it a name first project. So this is the first project. By default it has created following folders for me: external dependencies, header files, resource files, and source files. Now I need to type in here, so I need to put in some source file which has an extension .cpp. So I can create an environment by this, right click to the source file, add. When you add, it says new item or existing item. Dear students, just to save time, I could have done that new item. So just to save time, I am using existing item. When I say existing item, it's mean that I have already available some typed in key in text for you that I have placed it on my desktop, and in my desktop I have placed it into a demo folder, and into demo I have got in demo 1 folder, and here I have got few exercises that we will do together, and these exercises are exercise number 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So be patient. We will do all these exercises one by one together so that you can understand how should we run our programs in this particular environment. Okay, so let us select this practice exercise, P exercise 1, that has got a type is C++. I just click that, file name is this one. I am adding. Why I am adding? Because I would like to add it to my source file here. Soon I press add, the file is here. Okay, what is the file? The window is still open. Why it is blank? Because I have not yet opened it up here. Now I double click this. As soon as I double click this, I have found these well-known statements: include IOStream, आईओ स्ट्रीम हम यूज करते हैं सी इन सी आउट के लिए। stdio.h याद है जब मैंने आपको पढ़ाया था printf और scanf, तो मैंने आपको बताया था कि आप stdio.h जो है वो आप इंक्लूड करेंगे। सो यहाँ पर आई हैव इंक्लूडेड both stream IO and this one using namespace. There is a blank space, so I just delete that. ओके, एडिटिंग फीचर वही सारे हैं जो कि आपको माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड में या किसी भी आपको एडिटर के अंदर अवेलेबल होते हैं यूजिंग नेम स्पेस। सो आई हैव ऑलरेडी प्रॉमिस्ड कि ये जो इंक्लूड फाइल है ये प्री प्रोसेसिंग डायरेक्टिव्स हैं। सम टाइम इंशाल्लाह वी विल रीड टू दैट, बट हियर टुडे वी विल जस्ट कंसंट्रेट हियर। सो दिस इज माय फर्स्ट प्रोग्राम which says that void main int I is equal to 2 and print fi, and I'm just going to compile that. How can I compile that? There are two ways. One, I can use here right click and here compile. Wow, build 1 succeeded, 0 failed, 0 output, 0 escape. So I've successfully compiled that, means I should have now the object code available. But I just used, as the last time we used it, we used the option here, build option. So I'll use the build option that will carry out two tasks for me, compile and link. I cannot execute object files, you know that. So I should have an executable. For that I should compile and then link. So for that purpose I will use build solution that will carry out two tasks for me, and you know it has done it very well because there is just only one statement, and it has once again build started, build 1 succeeded, 0 failed, 0 this one. Now I should be able to run this program. I can run this program once again, use debug and control start without debugging, or I can also use control F5. So I click here. As soon as I click here, I just receive the output, and you can see that the printf has printed 2, and then system. Now let us see the impact of this system function, what it does. System pause. Okay, in order to see the impact of this system function, let us comment this function by putting / static, and at the end, you remember that I've already taught you how can you put the comments. So that is another way of putting the comments. That is, you can comment the valid C statements. When you comment a valid C statement, it becomes a comment. So it has no impact. Now the system pause has no impact. So let us see what is the change in the program. I recompile it. कैसे करते हैं recompile? Control F5. When I say control F5, the system says this project is out of date. Obviously, क्योंकि मैंने इसको change कर दिया है. Since I have changed it, so there are certain changes that the system has recorded, and system is recommending me to recompile and link it. So I say yes, I agree with you. Okay, it has successfully recompiled it. So let us run it. Control F5, I run it. Have you noticed any difference? The output window has not stayed. So this value of I is equal to 2, you are not being able to see that output. So put it back again. Take this comment out. What happens? Now this is the valid system use now. अब ये जो system की जो statement है, ये this is the part of my source code. I rebuild it again. Build, no error message, run, control F5. Okay, the output window is there. Now you can see the value of I is there, and press any key to continue, I press any key to continue. Okay, so dear students, let us use the same environment to practice another concept that I have taught you in my lecture number 9. What is that? I just open up the presentation of lecture number 9. This was my program where I have just indicated कि if हम इसमें break use नहीं कर रहे, so let us copy this switch statement तक हम इसे copy कर देते हैं. Control C and I put it up here. Instead of this I put it up here. Control V. Okay, what I have done, assume that I have typed in all these statements. मैंने थोड़ा सा टाइम बचाने के लिए इसको वहाँ से cut and paste कर दिया है. Since I don't need, I am not using any integer. I is equal to 2. Maybe yes, I am using I is equal to 2. Say okay. Let's keep it. And now, since value of I is equal to 2, switch I is equal to 2, case 1 will not be successful, case 2 should be successful, and it should say I am in case 2. But instead of saying I am in case 2, मैंने आपसे कहा था कि ये कहेगा I am in case 2, I am in case 3, I am in default. So let us see जो बात मैंने आपसे कही थी, whether it holds good or not. उसके लिए we are required to build the program again. Build. Let's pray there are no errors. I assume yes, there are no errors. Build 1 succeeded, 0 failed. So let us run it. I will run it from here. Control F5 से भी मैं चला सकता हूँ. Output is I am in case 2, I am in case 3, I am in default. भाई value of I जो थी, if you remember, ये हम साथ रख लेते, I की value 2 थी, तो सिर्फ इसको ये print करना चाहिए था. लेकिन instead इसने तो सारा कुछ print कर दिया, 3 भी कर दिया and default भी print कर दिया. So how can we correct this problem? Okay, press any key. It's finished. Let's make few changes in this program. Here we put a break statement. Break, और इस break statement को copy कर देते हैं. Control C and we put it up here. Control V. We put it up. Control V. Default से break करने की जरूरत नहीं है. ठीक है? और now I is equal to 2 और now we'll see के ये कैसे काम करता है. पहले अगर हम चाहें तो देखने एरर तो नहीं आ रही कोई. So for that purpose I can compile. No error message. Okay. Now debug. Run. What it will run? It will run the previous version. Why previous version? क्योंकि मैंने सिर्फ इसको कंपाइल किया है. Executable जो है वो मेरा पुराना ही पड़ा हुआ है. In order to confirm that, when I will run it, it will not show you the impact of break. So let us see. I press. अब ये मुझे कह रहा है कि आप इसको outdated है, इसको rebuild करवे. मैं कहता हूँ नहीं, मैं इसे rebuild नहीं करता. मैंने इसको rebuild नहीं किया, therefore ये I am in 2, I am in 3 and I am in default आ रहा है. Okay, अब मैं इसकी बात मान लूँगा और I will ask it to control F5. अब once again it's reminding me it is out of date, please इसको दोबारा rebuild कीजिए. Now I say that yes, do it. It has rebuilt it. अब इसने rebuild किया है, since की I की value 2 है तो say I am in case 2. Good. Let's change the value of I. क्या रखें इसकी value? Let's say change the value to 4. 4 exist ही नहीं करता. So it should go in default. ठीक है भाई? So control F5 which is equal to rebuild. Oh, it's not done that. I click here. Control F5, yes. ओके, इसको कहते हैं रीबिल्ड कर दो, यस व्हाई नॉट, रीबिल्ड किया, रन किया। आई एम इन डिफॉल्ट, व्हाई? बिकॉज आई की वैल्यू इज 4, द वैल्यू ऑफ आई इज 4, it is not 1, not 2, not 3, so it has gone into default, so I am in default. So it works. Abhi exercise number 1 mein we are successful, thanks God. Okay students, I would like to stay in this environment. मैं अब दोबारा से start नहीं करना चाहता. What I will do, I will just cross down this. I say right click and I say exclude from the project. इस एक्सरसाइज को एक्सक्लूड किया फ्रॉम द प्रोजेक्ट. दिस विंडो इज ओपन अगेन. आई ऐड न्यू आइटम, नो existing item. Exercise 1 we have done that. Let us see what do I have it in exercise 2. These exercises I have just randomly added into this environment. इसमें कोई logical order नहीं है कि ये step by step बढ़ती जाएंगी and each example will be demonstrating some new concept for you. ठीक है, लेकिन ये ऐसा नहीं है कि exercise 1 easy है और 2 उससे मुश्किल और 3 उससे मुश्किल. It is just a concept that I added in the exercise and I have just saved it for you. Add. This is exercise number 2. I just double click that. What do I have in it? I have prime number. It is a very good program. This exercise, what I would like to do here is that we would like to enter any number and that number is integer I. See out this error, see in num, or then I is equal to 2. Why I is equal to 2? Because I have said while I is less than equal to this, then do that. Then I will divide the number with this and I will try to find out what is the output for integer I less than equal to this. So I don't need this I is equal to 2. I guess I should delete that. Let us delete it. I think it is redundant because I am just initializing this value. First I will compute it and then while I is less than equal to this one means it is less than equal to 2, so yes, I need to just put some initial value of I. It was right, so I put it again. Control Z, I is equal to 2. Okay. Here I am dividing it n minus 1 divided by 2. जो मैंने आपको पढ़ाया था उस दिन मैंने आपको बताया था कि इसको रहने देते हैं और पहले हम इसको ऐसे ही करते हैं कि num minus 1 और यहाँ पे b, because I have given you a quiz कि try to find out the optimized version कि कैसे ये आपको सही वैल्यू देगा. तो whatever I have done that, I am just going to remove that. If I equal to num, then the prime number. This was my program that I have used it in the lecture. Let us see how it works. Control F5. I rebuild it. Okay, it works. Enter a number. Let us enter 64, which is not a prime number. Not a prime number. Yes, you are right. Let's run it again. Control F5. Okay, have you noticed something? This time it has not asked me कि आपका program change हो गया है, इसको rebuild कर लीजिए. Since I have made no changes in my program, so I'm simply rerunning it as many times as I want by simply using Control F5. This time I will use, do you remember any prime number? 29 is a prime number. I enter 29. It's a prime number. Yes, it works. Now, in the lecture मैंने आपसे कहा था कि num -1 तक जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं होनी चाहिए. क्यों नहीं होनी चाहिए? Because किसी भी नंबर का जो डिवाइजर है वो उस नंबर के हाफ से बड़ा हो नहीं सकता. क्योंकि हाफ जो है वो 2 टाइम्स जाता है और हाफ से बड़ा फिर वो हो नहीं सकता, वो 1 पॉइंट समथिंग होगा, वो कंप्लीटली डिविजिबल नहीं होगा। लिहाजा एनी नंबर हैज़ अ मैक्सिमम प्राइम डिवाइजर इज लेस देन हाफ ऑफ दैट नंबर। अगर ये कंपोजिट नंबर है, प्राइम नंबर नहीं है, तो तब भी इसका प्राइम डिवाइजर जो होगा वो इसके n by, if n is the number then n by 2 is the maximum prime divisor. So I would like, instead of going to I is less than equal to this one, I will say that I should use is num divided by 2. Okay, and now I will close down this parenthesis here. I is less than equal to num divided by 2. If I equal to 0, इसका मतलब ये हुआ, if num integer remainder, we have divided a number with I, and if this I is completely divisible, its integer remainder is 0, then it is not a prime number. Otherwise I will increment that, since it is by 2, so it is, यहाँ पर होना चाहिए num divided by 2 plus 1. Why plus 1? क्योंकि number is odd, okay, and divide by 2 fraction part उसका चला जाएगा. So when I say divide by 2 plus, कहाँ गया 1 plus 1, okay, num divide by 2 plus 1. अब operator precedence कहता है कि division will take place first, and then I will add the number, then the number is here, and let us see. Up this time, instead of running the loop n minus 1 times, we are running the loop n minus 2 times, n minus 1 और n by 2. अगर 10,000 तक आपने इसको रन करना है, n minus 1 means 9,999 और n by 2 means simply 5,000. So देखा हमने बहुत सारी, lot of iterations we have avoided by intelligently preparing an algorithm which says that instead of n minus 1 it should divide by n by 2. By the way, in your book, in the sample program, it is n minus 1. So I have optimized it to n by 2. Let us rebuild it again. We have made the following corrections. Num minus 1 की जगह we have made num by 2 plus 1, because n by 2, when we divide it for a prime number or an odd number, then it is less than 1. The fractional part is deleted, so you need to add 1 here. So I hope that it should work now, and we build, okay, debug, run, okay, 67 is a prime number, okay, control F5, I run it again. 100 is a prime number, eh? No, 100 is a composite number, should say not a prime number. So our program works, you have seen that, and we have optimized not only the logic, but also we have seen that how can we rebuild and recombine all these. Okay students, let's pick up in the same environment. I clean it, I take this exclude from the project. Later on I will tell you how can you keep different exercises into the resource files. So I'll let you know how can you keep all these exercises, but just because I have to make certain corrections in the environment, so I've just given you the shortest way of practicing the different exercises. Existing item. Exercise number 3, add. What do we have in this exercise? Okay, it is calculator-like program where we have, it reads the 2 operand 1, then it reads operand 2, then operator, so, and then it calculates that. So we have initialized float num is equal to 1.0, num2 is equal to 1.0. I have given some default values, and character operator, if they are not both equal to 0, this is just an option. Actually, this is a sample I have picked up from your book, from your textbook, weight group turbo C. So I've just simply used it, and I've slightly changed that C in, C out instead of print F. I've used C out, and scanf ki jagah pe I've used C in. This is the only change I've made in your program that is given in your textbook, just to simplify it, just so that you can concentrate on the logic. Instead, you should concentrate on printf and scanf. Okay. So it will read operand 1, then the operator, plus, minus, multiplication, division, whichever it is, then the operand 2, then check if it is plus, then carry out the plus, if it is minus, then carry out the minus, if it is multiplication this or this, we'll try for both, and then division, we'll again try for both. Remember, there was a mistake in my lecture slide when I used this minus twice, this case twice, but in this program I've used it once because twice is not allowed. Okay students, let's pray that it should work. What should I do? First, let me check whether there is any syntax error or not. Compile. No syntax error. So let us this time impose some syntax errors and see how can we correct that. Suppose instead of num2 I have used num. Okay. Now num2, it should give me an error. It should be give me an error here. Num2, I have not defined it and I am using it. So lot of error should be there. Compile. Yes. Line number 9, column number 1. Line number 9, column number 1. This is line number 9, and column number 1 means this is the line where what do we have? Undeclared identifier. Undeclared identifier. Num2 is an undeclared identifier. Line number 9, column number 1, first point, this is unable to recover from the previous error, stopping compilation. भाई पहले इसे ठीक करेंगे, then to go forward. So let's put it back. वापस डाल देते हैं, भाई नाराज ना हो. Okay. Let us compile it again. Compile. Okay, no errors. Obviously, we have introduced that error just to show you कि यहाँ पे errors कैसे आती हैं. You see that just because of one, I have got multiple errors. As soon as I corrected this, the rest was also corrected. So students, let us build it again. Build and run. Debug. Run. Type number, operator number. कैलकुलेटर है आपका 12 मल्टीप्लाई का ये सिंबल हमने दिया हुआ है. लेट्स सी वेदर इट वर्क्स और नॉट. 12 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 20, आंसर शुड बी 240. आंसर इज 240. टाइप अनदर नंबर, सेम 12. दिस टाइम आई विल यूज. ओके, आप देख रहे हैं इनपुट को ब्रेक हम कैसे कर रहे हैं? स्पेस बार से. इसको टैब से भी कर सकते हैं. ओके, दिस टाइम आई विल यूज static. Okay, this time tab. And 12 multiplied by 10, 120 answer आना चाहिए. Yes, 120 is the answer. Division. Okay, 16 divided by 4. The answer is 4. This time 16 divided by 4, unknown operator. Okay, it's not reading it, so there is something that this backslash operator. Let's try once more. 16 backslash, okay, unknown operator. So our logic is not working, so I will see what is the reason behind it. So I just enter another number, this time to stop it, 0 multiply by 0 stops, because I have said that this one. So let us see. Okay, this is, let us try Control F5. /4. Okay, so it's working. So what was the error? You have seen that हमने यहाँ पर एक by mistake एक space दे दी थी, and now it has got some mistake, so it's mean that it was not decoding it properly. As I said that इस स्लैश का मतलब है ट्रीट द नेक्स्ट कैरेक्टर एज एन ऑर्डिनरी कैरेक्टर, लेकिन इससे पहले एक हमने स्पेस दी थी, स्पेस का कोड इज 32, देयरफॉर वो जो भी आपका जो कोड रीड कर रहा था वो इसके साथ मैच नहीं हो रहा था. एज सुन एज आई रिमूव दिस स्पेस एंड कमिंग बैक टू दिस कंट्रोल F5, ओके इट्स वर्क्स. ओके, क्योंकि हमारी आउटपुट विंडो खुली हुई थी और वी वर प्रोड्यूसिंग another executable, so it said that you cannot do that. Let us check. This time 16 backslash instead of forward slash 4, enter, it works. So we have learned a lot of things here by just doing some mistakes intentionally and some mistakes unintentionally, and we have learned that it works and we can really carry out with these particular exercises. Okay, once again exclude from this project, add another exercise. Existing exercise हमने 3 कर दी, where's exercise number 6, add. Okay, what's that? You can see that there are case A and A that I have taught in the previous lecture, कि आप A और A जो है इनको combine कर सकते हैं, and we can just find out कि should come up here whether we press A or whether we press uppercase A, then B or uppercase B, C or uppercase C, and then the default. Okay, and this is the system pause that keeps the output window available to us. We have defined this character. This printf should be somewhere here. It doesn't look nice. It is in the beginning. Okay, थोड़ा सा इसकी cosmetics देख लेते हैं इसको. Let's do it like that. Indentation, okay, just for fun, doing it for fun, doesn't make any difference. Just make this code more readable. Default printf. Here switch closes down and then the system pause is there. Okay, it's more readable. Let us try and see are there any compilation errors. Successful. Declaration of scanf, there seems to be one error. Build 1 succeeded 0, so there is an error. This function of variable may be unsafe. This is just a warning. Okay, we are using this here and it say that might be unsafe, so that's why I've changed it to the C in and C out. But let us see that whether with this just one single warning whether it works or not. So run it, debug, first build. ओके आपने नोट किया जब हमने कंपाइलेशन दिया था तो उसने it has given us the error, warning error, लेकिन जब when we rebuilded it, what it has done कि in the rebuild process warning को ignore करके it has produced should have produced the code which we should be able to run from here. It's working. Enter an alphabet A, B or C. Let us enter A. A as in usher. A as in usher, break. Rerun it. Control F5. Shift A. Enter. As in usher. You can see that when we pressed entered lowercase a, it entered there. When we pressed uppercase a, it executed this and entered here. Okay, then it break. Good, it's working. And suppose run it again, control F5. This time I'm not going to enter A, B, C, rather I'll write down H. Do you know what are alphabets? Oh, very harsh, but I've written it by myself. Okay, it's written here. Do you know what are the alphabets? Okay, so this is basically your output window. If it goes out, you can just press it and it comes back again. Here you just press it, so it goes down. अगर ये output window खुली होगी तो मैसेज हमारा दोबारा आएगा. Let us reproduce it. Control F5. हाँ भाई, Control F. It's not there. So first of all, our cursor should be here. Then I say Control F5. It is working. अब ये काम करते हैं. This output window is open. Okay. अब what I do? I make okay, I do nothing but just I simply ask system to rebuild it again. Build the solution. नाराज हो गया सिस्टम. What are you doing? Why? The output window is locked here and you are trying to produce another executable. The executable was locked and I am trying to produce another executable. So let me stop it first. Okay, and now I try Control F5. Says you have made some changes, reproduce it. Good, it works. No error this time. So since this window is there, that indicates that your output is there. When the output window is there, it means that your .exe file is engaged. You are executing .exe file. During this period, you are not supposed to produce another executable. When you produce another executable, the previous executable is deleted and new executable is produced. But since this previous executable is running the program, it is executing, so you cannot delete it. Since you cannot delete it, you cannot produce the new one. So that was the error that we encountered before that I wanted to demonstrate it to you. Okay, so just इसको ख़त्म करते हैं. Press this time capital B. Okay, B as a brain. It's working fine. Good students. चलें जी, let us try clean it. Let us try another exercise. Add exercise number 7. Add. Okay, same old friend, out of the loop. What do I do? Here we have go to statements. Go to out. I've got this statement for, nested for, nested for, nested, then for me if. So we have lot of nesting. Then I want to come out of this loop, and what it will do, it will write down the values. It will print f. अगर I is equal to 3 और j is equal to 3 और k is equal to 3 नहीं होगा, तो तब तक it will write down all the values of I, j and k. Soonest I is equal to 3, j is equal to 3 or k is equal to 2 होगा, it's okay. But when the k is equal to 3, it will come out of the loop. Let us see whether our assumption is right or wrong. What do we need to do? Directly rebuild it. Build the solution. Okay, finish generating code. Succeeded. 0 failed, 0 up to date, 0 skipped. Don't confuse this 0 is for this one, not for succeeded. 1 is succeeded, 0 failed, 0 up to date, 0 skipped. Okay, so it is successful. Let us run it. We can run it by saying debug or control F5. I1, J1, K up to 3. I1, J2, K3, I1, J2, K1, K2, K3, K1, K2, K3 और कहाँ तक चलता है ये? I is 3, J is 3, K is 2. Next value, as soon as it's made, I is 3, J is 3, K is 3, it took out I3, J3, जैसे ही 2 तक तो चला है, and then when the K was 3, out of the loop, it has thrown it out to this statement here, and it has just said this one out of the loop. Then system pause says that press any key to continue. Okay, so it works. Press any key. Let me press. Good. Let us try another one. Exercise number 8. Add. Okay, it's a very simple program that just allows you that if you want to run a program again and again, for that purpose you can use a character yes, yes or no, while another is equal to yes. You will enter here, enter a name, enter a number. What it does, it takes the square of the number you have entered. Want to enter another number, so here just I want to teach you that if you just enter another number here, which is enter a number, see in another, want to enter another number, yes or no. If you say yes, it will go up again and it will run it again. So let us run this program. Build, successful, run. We can directly run it from control F5. Okay, enter a number. I entered 6. The square of 6 is 36. Now it's asking whether you want to run it again, yes or no. I say yes. Why? Enter a number. 78. Square of 78 is 6084. Want to run this another time? So just I wanted to demonstrate here that if this yes or no is there, you can just read it out and take your decision. So this will avoid, through this you can avoid using rerunning the program again and again and again by using control F5. बजाय इसके कि बार बार आप control F5 से प्रोग्राम को रन करें, आप उसको यहाँ पर यूजर से ऑप्शन ले सकते हैं कि whether you can run it or not. So with this concept that I will be using it again, I come back again in this window, I say no, I don't want to run it. Window is closed. So I would like to give you another example. Before giving you another example, let me clean this environment. Exclude from the project, add existing item. Now I've got just two more exercises. Exercise number 9, add. What is this exercise number 9? Oh, this is the solution to a problem that I posed to you in lecture number 7. In lecture number 7, I promised you to provide the solution that how can you check whether the number is prime, the number is even or odd. So this is the answer to that quiz or exercise or question that I posed in lecture number 7. Okay, here I am using the concept that we have learned in the previous exercise. Another, yes, I have initialized it to some previous value. Suppose I don't initialize it here. What will happen? Okay, first let me run and then I will see what will happen to this. Run it again, not run it first time. Build. Okay. Control F5 से हम इसे run कर सकते हैं. Enter a number. Number is 5. You have entered an odd number. Do you want to run it again? Yes, I want to run it again. This time I say 60. You have entered an even number. Do you want to run it again? No. Let us make some changes. I don't initialize y here. Okay, I'm just testing it whether another is equal to y. Now this another should just be containing any garbage value, and that should not, let's hope that is not y, so it should not run. So if this function, this test, while test is not true, it will not go inside this for loop. Okay, let us do it. Build. Okay, then run. Okay, it has not stopped. So let us first of all ask him to stop. How can we ask him to stop? We can say system pause. We know that this is one way we can force the output window to stay. So let's do that and build it again. Good. Then run it again. Press any key to continue. So it is just executing this statement. What does it mean? It's not, it has not entered inside. Why? Because I have made a test here. While का टेस्ट हमने किया है, it is not true. So इसको एक दफा तो चलना चाहिए था. उसके लिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं? जी, let us see. उसके लिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं? हमने उसके लिए पढ़ा था do while. Control X. Here I'll say do start this, Control V जो हमने कट किया है. ठीक है, do this while another is this one. Remember मैंने आपसे कहा था कि यहाँ पर the do while structure है, इसे कंट्रोल नहीं होना चाहिए. अभी कोई गड़बड़ तो नहीं की हमने. System, okay. This one is closing here. So what it is doing here? This do is up here. Okay. और ये तो if it is start and end. आपने note किया? Please note it down. When I click this closing braces, this braces automatically linked it up with this one. That's why ये जो आपको error आ रहा है, it is out of the destination. So when I compile it, it should give me an error. Let us compile it. बहुत सारी errors हैं. Redefinition previous. जब बहुत ज़्यादा errors आए, just relax. It's mean कि एक छोटी सी error है that is causing lot of problem. यहाँ पे we can see line number 21, line number 22, 21, 22, 21. इसी में सारी errors हैं. तो ये line है जनाब हमारी line number 21. ये है, कहाँ से देखा मैंने? ये this is line number 21 और line number 22. ये गड़बड़ कर रही है. So how can we correct that? इससे पीछे we put it up here. यहाँ से program start हुआ, यहाँ से end हुआ. तो ये क्या कर रहा है यहाँ पे? Obviously I can delete that. As soon as I delete it, now ये statement आ गई inside the valid main program और इसका underline red भी खत्म हो गया. Let's hope के it should not give us any error this time. Okay, so very interesting. This is a very intelligent editor that even before going to the compiler, it helps you out in identifying the errors, and we have noticed an error and corrected it, and this time we run it. नहीं, अभी तो we need to build it up again. Build. Okay, now run. Control F5 से run करते. Enter a number. 45. You have entered an odd number. So what difference you have noted? This time this body of loop is executing at least once. Remember हमने कहा था कि do while loop हम वहाँ use करते हैं जहाँ पर we want that the body of loop should be executed at least once. बजाय इसके कि डमी हम another को initialize किया हमने, y को start में ही हमने initialize किया, but जब मैंने उसको remove किया तो the first while test was failed and the system did not enter inside the while loop. So what I did, I changed the while loop with do while. So I placed do here and while here, and it was just initialization, no, not initialization, declaration. So I have not initialized it, rather I have just read it from the keyboard, and from the keyboard I said yes. If I say yes, it's mean that it should run again. So let us say, do you want to run it again? I say yes, enter, and it has gone up again. It's running again. This time I say 8, which is an even number, once again asking me yes or no. Do you want to run it or not? I don't want to run it since I've made a test on y, not on n, so I can press anything. I can press enter. Enter is a white space, still therefore it's waiting. I press O. Press any key to continue means कि अब ये loop से बाहर आ गया है, and this time it is here. So as soon as I press any key to continue, the window has stopped. You can notice down that no window is here. Okay. So dear students, one more exercise. Clean it up, exclude from the project, now add existing. Last exercise of today's lecture, exercise number 10, add. What do I need to? Okay, this time I'm using too many things. I'm using it do while loop and another concept. This time I'm using character ch. See that while ch is equal to yes or yes. ठीक. So इसको यहाँ होना चाहिए. C in, closing down. Let me check all the parentheses. This is with the end. Good. Next is do while. If it is this, so where should it is ending here? Okay. So I just delete here so that it looks more readable. Okay, what is this? This brace is for the switch. Good. So I've got 1, 2, 3 open brackets, and third is closed, second is closed here, and the first is closed here. Good. So there should not be any error. Then here I've used this cout statement just to keep it simple, and I'm using \tab just to use it more appropriately. So 1 is for mutton, this is a menu of a restaurant. 2 for steak, 3 for chicken, 4 for burger, 5 for vegetarian. You have a choice here, you will choose it, and then the system will display some messages here. For example, if you choose 1, so mutton is my favorite, again please bring in steak, very delicious, but you limit yourself to once a week, or it's a risky, it's increase your cholesterol. 3, chicken is healthier than steak. Burger is one form of the fast food. Finally, the vegetarian. And if you don't enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then it's please enter an appropriate choice. So in this particular example, we have combined almost couple of concepts that we have practiced few minutes back, along with few more improvement in the cout. You can see that it can either be like this, or yet you can put it like this. It will be more readable if let us just align it like this. Okay, it is more readable now, and I have used it with a single redirection operators. Okay, and these operators, I've just combined it. You know, I can use as many white spaces as I want, but just I want to make it more readable. Okay, first of all, it's a long typing. Let us check whether there is a syntax error. So uske liye we just do it compile. Okay, no syntax error, thanks God. Let us build it. जब हमने compile किया, it has produced object code, but it has not produced the exe file. Therefore, we cannot run it. So just rebuild. Now we run it with Control F5. Okay, menu is there. 1 is mutton, 2 is steak, 3 is chicken, 4 is burger, 5 is vegetarian. What does it say with 1? Mutton is my favorite. Do you want to try again? Yes. 2. Yeah. Steak is great, but limit yourself to once a week, or risk the chance of high cholesterol. Try again. Yes. 3 is chicken. 4. Burger is a form of fast food, because 4 is for burger. Try again. Yes. This time 8. Invalid number. Please enter a number from the entrance list given above. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can add here 6 for exit. When it is exit, then it should break. It should not ask try again. So this is an exercise for you. Do it. Try again. No. So what I have proposed you to do, there should be an option for 6 for exit, and once there is an option for exit, then it should not ask, even it should not just come out of this loop, but it should come out of the program also. So this is an exercise you can try. So dear students, we have done the exercise of 5-6 exercises that we have done today, and in these exercises we have simply copied the text, that in order to save some time for your convenience, for my convenience, I have just typed in the programs and copied it into the environment, and you have noticed that we can compile it, we can rebuild it, we can run it. So students, you should not have any fear. अब कोई आपको किसी किस्म का खौफ नहीं होना चाहिए. You should have a very good familiar environment. Try to spend some time in this environment. More time you will spend, more you will learn. And inshallah in future I will be doing some hands-on exercises with almost I will try my best. Whatever lecture I will deliver, at the end of the lecture I will demonstrate it to you, how you can try it and how you can run it in the program. Okay, so with this I conclude this lecture. Goodbye. Allah Nigeban. Khuda Hafiz.